words said in the aftermath are just too confusing. Now I spend my days watching you throw stones at someone who's already dead. And if this is the way we all begin, so how can I ask for any more?
Welcome to the Stages of Minnesota holiday preview episode. With dozens of holiday shows running across the Twin Cities, covering them all is impossible. This sponsored episode, therefore, features 4 supporting theater companies. I'm really happy with the mix we have of lesser-known theater companies that you might not hear about unless you know someone involved in the show, and old friends who've been encouraging and supportive of the show from the very beginning. I'm also really pleased with the way these companies decide to get creative with their segments. These are not all just your typical talking heads. We had a lot of fun recording these. It was a thrill to get to play in the creative sandbox with these wonderful artists. I also enjoyed putting these together. Getting a chance to play around in the editing a little more than usual was an added gift. Of course, it wouldn't be a holiday episode without something traditional. The annual production of A Christmas Carol at the Guthrie Theater has been a Minnesota tradition for over 50 years now. Though the proposed amendment to the state constitution to require all residents of Minnesota to attend a performance at least once every 10 years hasn't passed yet, I think most folks make it a point to do so anyway. This was my 5th year in a row, and here is my Minnesota Honest Review. Whether it moves me to cheers or tears, puts me to sleep or gets me up on my feet, these are my Minnesota Honest Reviews. Truthful, but not hurtful. It's hard to get through the holiday season without experiencing a version of A Christmas Carol. It's actually hard to get through the season without experiencing 4 or 5 versions of A Christmas Carol. This marks the Guthrie Theater's 51st annual production and the 5th year of Lavinia Jadwani's current adaptation, which premiered in 2021. This year's staging is directed by Adi Gorin Hahn, based on the original production's direction by Guthrie Artistic Director Joseph Hodge. After so many years, the enduring story of reflection and redemption still captivates, while my son Alex, my +1 for the production this year, still prefers the Patrick Stewart screen version. The Guthrie's stage production completely won me over, by the end bringing me once again to tears. To be fair, that's not as hard as you would think. I have been known to tear up at a very special episode of iCarly. This season features a few notable cast changes, including Daniel Petzold as young Scrooge and Amy K. Bryant in a newly credited role as Kitty's sister Dahlia. Kitty, or Fred's wife, as she was credited in previous years' programs, also finally gets a name. The production elements that have always wowed me continue to shine. Nathan Huberty's Ghost of Christmas Future, in a haunting costume by Tony Leslie James, remains nightmarish and delivers a moment of pure theatrical adrenaline. The set design by Matt Saunders and lighting by Yi Zhao strike a perfect balance, while the evocative score and sound design by Jane Shaw, Mikhail Suleiman, and Jason Hansen create a rich, immersive experience. My one minor critique remains the brief, elaborate ship at sea scene, which still feels like a significant effort for a small payoff. Despite that, if you've never seen A Christmas Carol at the Guthrie, it is a must-see, and it absolutely rewards repeat viewings. Dickens's source material is simply too brilliant to ever grow old, and its timeless message that our fellow man is the business of us all endures. A Christmas Carol runs through December 28th at the Guthrie Theater in Minneapolis. We will, of course, link to the theater in our show notes. Now, I hope you enjoyed this preview of 4 shows running this holiday season as much as we did putting them together. I'm joined now by the executive producer and one of the performers of Just Us Theater's Mistletoe and Mayhem, the Hallmark parody of the season, Dawn Krasnowski.
Good job on that last name, Rob.
Thank you.
Yeah,
well as you all know, we can't spell Krasnowski without snow.
And
Dawn,
ski.
Dawn, is your last name why you were drawn to doing a holiday show?
My dad always told me that Krasnowski meant an actor's child, and I think he was making that up, but it still worked. So here I am.
Before you tell us about the show, can you tell me a little bit about Just Us Theater Company, which has an interesting focus?
Oh, thank you. Just Us Theater's focus is working with people who are neurodivergent, queer, trans, women, disabled, and BIPOC. I mean, basically everyone that we can get out there on stage whose voice might be minimized out in the real world of theater and performance.
That's great.
Yeah, it is. It's so much fun.
So when does Mistletoe and Mayhem, the Hallmark parody of the season, open, and where are you performing?
We open November 28th and we run for 3 weekends, and we're going to be at the Phoenix Theater.
This is not the first time you've done this production, right? This is a remount, or is this a sequel?
No, this is a brand new Hallmark parody show. It's new characters, new music, brand new script.
Okay, great. So tell us a little more about the show.
Rob?
Wait,
Rob, is that Rob Duncanberger's voice? Oh, it is Rob! Oh, it just tickled you made it through the snow.
The snow?
You want some of my homemade peppermint chocolate fudge?
Well, I'm just here to hear about the show.
The show?
Who are you guys?
In the show? We're Betty and Hank Evergreen, lifelong residents of Snowberry Falls. Snowberry Sweethearts 82. We still go ballroom dancing every Tuesday, unless there's bingo.
I love bingo.
Now, Rob, you've never heard of Snowberry Falls? We celebrate Christmas 11 months out of the year.
Which month don't you celebrate?
Oh, that's a secret.
Oh, okay. Well, you sure have a lot of holiday cheer, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And our son, Nick, he runs the local Fix-It store. He's also the head of the Snowberry Volunteer Snowplow Squad.
Yeah, and founding member of the Holiday Hunk Calendar, Mr. December, if you can believe it.
He sounds hot.
Oh, he is.
Well, that's kind of a weird thing to be proud of. All right. I think maybe I've heard of Snowberry Falls.
Ooh.
You
is
know
there?
about... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Is there like a covered bridge leading into the town, no matter what direction you come from?
There is.
Is there a candy store on Main Street that only sells candy canes?
Right next to the toffee shop.
And is there like a big gazebo in the town square?
Yep.
It's where we got engaged.
I think I've been there. It was like years ago. I was traveling cross country and my car broke down. And because I'm a city fella, I don't know even how to put gas in my car.
Oh.
So luckily there was a beautiful young woman who ran a garage in town, and she brought my car in, and I thought something was going to happen because she kept ordering parts and it kept delaying me, and I kept being there, and I felt like we had a connection. But then suddenly another city fella came to town and his car broke down, and he was a single father who was still getting over the death of his wife. Suddenly my car was fixed and I had a police escort out of town. It was kind of weird.
Well,
yeah, you got to move fast. There's a line. We got to keep it going through.
Yeah, that story sounds very familiar.
Does it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did you get to sample any of our treats in our
town?
Yeah.
It was all fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh,
we got fudge.
Yeah, and cookies.
And decorations.
Oh, and just a little bit of magic.
And a goat.
Oh, marzipan.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember the goat.
Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for jumping in.
That's just a little bit of the mayhem of Mistletoe and Mayhem in Snowberry Falls. It's kind of like this all the time.
Wow, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Serious.
Hi, Betty.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, Hank.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
So our show is written and directed by Jamie Newstrom. She's absolutely brilliant. She has composed all the music, the lyrics, everything, and it's just a blast. She's really captured the spirit of a Hallmark Christmas.
Well, it sure seems like it's going to be full of colorful characters, to say the
And lots
least.
of sweaters.
Yeah. We'll link to the show's website in the show notes where you can get your tickets. Thanks, Dawn, for coming on and telling us about the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having us. You want to say goodbye? I know you're dying to.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Eat more fun.
Okay. All right. Hank and Betty Evergreen, everybody. Don't disappoint them. Accept their invitation to Snowberry Falls. You may find love. You may find the Christmas spirit. One thing is for certain, you'll definitely find laughter.
And a goat.
And a goat.
Always a goat.
Today I'm joined by the director of Rollicking, a Winter Carnival Musical, the History Theater's interim artistic director, Laura Leffler, who is directing the show. The book is by Rachel Teagle, the music by Keith Hovis, and Teagle and Hovis co-wrote the lyrics. Laura, welcome to the Stages of Minnesota.
Thanks so much for having me.
Tell us about the show. This seems a little different than what we're used to seeing at the History Theater.
Yeah, maybe just a little different. The show does have a bit of fantasy to it, but I promise there's a lot of history as well. The story centers on Clarence Wigington, his nickname was Cap, real-life architect who lived in St. Paul in the Rondo neighborhood in the late 20s, 30s, and 40s, and was the nation's first Black municipal architect. So he designed the Ice Palace that was built for the 1937 Winter Carnival. So our play opens in December of 1936 as he's still drawing up his plans for the Ice Palace. And his wife, Viola, has just returned from about a 4-year stint of living out in California with some relatives. So Cap is feeling a little stuck on his design for the Ice Palace. Viola is just getting back. They're trying to sort of reignite their marriage now that they're empty nesters. And a closet door flies open and whoosh, they get taken away into the magical realm of the carnival. And then once inside the carnival land, we sort of time expands and we learn so much history then about this beautiful winter carnival that we have here in St. Paul. And the St. Paul Winter Carnival is celebrating its 140th year. Bouncing girls, dog sled racers, snowmobile racers, Klondike Kates, Volcanus Rex. Anyone who's very familiar with the Winter Carnival will know kind of about those events and characters and stuff. And so for people who love the carnival, I think they'll be excited by all the little tidbits and the characters they've seen. And for those who maybe aren't familiar with the carnival, it's a wonderful introduction to the myth of King Boreas, to a lot of the winter sports and community that gather every January for 10 days for this wonderful carnival.
So tell us quick how this came to be commissioned by the History Theater. I assume this is a world premiere.
It is. For History Theater, we were really drawn not only to the story of Cap and getting to sort of retell the history of this real life person. Right here in St. Paul, we have one of the best collections of a Black architect from that time period, in the whole country, is here in St. Paul based on Cap Wigington's legacy. Within Cap's lifetime, he did get some recognition, but not initially. So it's wonderful to sort of retell the history and make sure that people know that he was the one who did those beautiful designs. So Keith and Rachel came to us with a story, and we're like, this is really wonderful to kind of marry a lot of wonderful history with this fantastical story, which was actually written right here in St. Paul by J.H. Hansen, wrote the original Legend of Boreas myth. Still today, we will crown a King Boreas and a Queen Aurora of the 2026 Winter Carnival. These are, legends and traditions that live on.
So obviously there is a fantasy element that we're not used to seeing at the History Theater. Almost sounded like a Narnia situation with the closet opening up. Is this maybe a more appropriate show for younger kids than the typical History Theater show?
you're right, it is more fantastical, and we are likening it to like a Wizard of Oz or like a Narnia. But that the myth that was written for the carnival was written here in St. Paul, and the myth does get played out every year at the carnival. So it's like a historical myth.
A tall tale, if you will.
A tall tale. There you go. Yes. There's also this fantastical realm with the Hylex gnomes come to life and are sort of this vehicle for giving information. And so they have these personalities, and they're sort of a exposition tool, but they're funny and they're goofy also, So we're calling it a kind of a show for the whole family. You can bring the whole family.
This is a great cast. And I hear the songs are a lot of fun too.
They really are. Yeah. I'm a huge Keith Hovis fan. He's a composer close to my heart. Such clever harmonies, such a great hook, such fantastic composition. And that's definitely like a constant in Keith's work, that he writes really complex harmonies. And I mean, this is really the cast to tackle it, because there's not a bad singer among them. They're really, really strong. In addition to just being amazingly talented, it also is just like the most lovely group of humans, just really wonderful people as well. So it's been a lot of fun in rehearsal. Literally could not have done this without our totally fantastic team. That includes Isabella Dawes, our music director, and then my dear, dear friend and beautifully talented choreographer, Joey Miller.
Well, Laura, I want to thank you for coming on the show. A reminder that Rollicking, a winter carnival musical, runs through November 20th to December 21st at the History Theater in St. Paul. Get your tickets now. We'll link to the theater in the show notes so you can purchase tickets. When the cast can't make it, the show must go on, more or less. That's the tagline for Yellow Tree Theater's holiday offering, A Christmas Carol, more or less, which is written by Stefano Loverso and Mary Irie and directed by Markel Kiefer. Joining me now to give us a little taste of what to expect are the stars of the show, Kate Bian and Paul Lenave. Kate and Paul, welcome to the stages of Minnesota.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. Yes. Delighted.
Tell us a little bit about the show.
Well, Paul and I, we play a husband and wife who own a small theater company in a little mountain town, who find themselves right at the beginning of the show in a bit of a pickle as their entire cast and crew is caught in a snowstorm. They've gone skiing, much to my dismay. And so we're left in this moment of either possibly losing our theater and shutting the show down, or coming up with something to do to keep the theater afloat. And although they're going through a tense time themselves, they don't have a choice but to plan. At least she does a lot of the planning and brings him along for it. So we're actually going to show you a scene that happens at the top of the show that really sets up the entire premise.
Oh, great. A nice little nibble. Great. Thank you.
Yes. Well, I should go talk to the audience.
Tell them how the show must go on.
Well, Mr. Money, if it doesn't go on, not only will I have to give them their money back and probably shut down this entire operation, God, I won't even be able to afford to give my kid Christmas gifts.
But you couldn't do anyway with the measly existence you make here. I mean, what's Christmas time but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older with not an hour richer.
I'd forgotten what a memory you have for lines. You could probably recite this entire show, couldn't you?
Every pukey line. We've done it enough times.
Ah, that's it then.
What's it?
You and I are gonna do this show.
You never give up, do you?
No, I don't.
Forget it. I'm not doing you any more favors.
Well, I will get half of what you make for the rest of your life. That is one thing I love about California, are those community property laws. Between the alimony, the child support, the emotional distress, and don't forget those scripts you want to peddle you wrote while married.
You wouldn't do that.
Oh yeah? Try me. Picture us in front of a judge. Oh, Your Honor. Oh, even Scrooge wouldn't walk out on his own son.
It's ridiculous. I can't play 6 or 7 roles at the same time.
Oh, I'm well aware of your limitations. Don't worry. Hey. You do Scrooge and I'll do everything else.
Including lights and sound?
Yeah, they're just right off stage.
Wonder Woman.
Take it as your opportunity to make me look like a fool.
Look, I do this. You don't ask for anything, right?
You do this and I don't ask for everything. Huh? Just put what's left of your heart into it.
I actually believed in it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Charlie, won't you join me? Ladies and gentlemen, I have just been informed that, well, our cast and crew will not be joining us this evening. Not a single one of them. There you have it, a little snip from the show.
Wow. Okay, so the rest of the show then is the two of you performing A Christmas Carol all on your own.
It is.
Pretty much. Pretty
much is the answer, actually. We keep looking left and right for more cast members to join us at any given time, but it is ultimately up to Paul and myself to make the entire thing happen between the props, the set,
the lights, the sounds, the costumes.
We really do it all.
Yeah.
But it's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds great. Have you guys been having a blast putting this together?
Yeah, it's a mental and physical journey. Like it's like noises off meets. I mean, it's crazy, but it's incredible to like realize what you're capable of is like a big part of it. Is like I didn't know that I could do all of that, and we're just finding out that we have to. So it's been fun.
Right.
It is very much like, well, you're on the train and you can't stop the train and you got to keep going on the train. Like there's no point to get off.
Yeah, we're excited to have people here because so much of it, the audience will be like, they'll be the third cast member basically. So we're just excited to have people come and see it and see what that turns it into is our big thing now.
Yeah, it changes the energy in the room, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And as performers, I'm sure you feed off of the laughs and the reactions you're getting from those out in the audience. I'm really excited about this one.
Awesome.
Cool.
It's always fun to see a Christmas Carol version that I haven't already seen 5 or 6 times.
Right.
You know the story, you love the story. There's a reason why there's so many different versions out there and why we keep going back year after year, because it resonates on a certain level.
Yeah.
But it's great when somebody does something different with it and adds another layer. So I'm really excited about this.
We are too. We can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
A Christmas Carol, more or less, runs from November 28th to December 28th. We will link, as is our holiday tradition, to the theater in the show notes so you can easily navigate to purchase tickets. Kate and Paul, thank you for coming on and giving us a taste of this hilarious holiday treat. I can't wait to devour the entire show.
We can't wait to see you. Grab your tickets. They are selling fast.
They are.
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, everyone? Remember all the shows I told you about in October? Said, get your tickets, get your tickets. They're selling out, and you didn't do it, and you couldn't see it. Well, don't let this be another one of those. So get your tickets now.
See you soon.
Great. Thanks, guys. Since its creation in 2009 by playwright Rihanna Yazzie, New Native Theater has created authentic and transformative plays and events through the lens of the Native American experience. This holiday season, New Native Theater remounts its hit comedy, A Christmas at Ochapee, by Montana Cypress, and directed by Julia Rosa Sosa Chaparro. I'm joined today by Yazzie. Welcome to the Stages of Minnesota.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate being invited on.
Rihanna, first, can you tell us a little about New Native Theater?
Yes, so New Native Theater is a company that I started back in 2009. And it's a Native American theater company where we have Native American playwrights, directors, actors. But essentially, it is a place where Native folks can hone their craft and work in a really culturally sensitive, relevant, and fun environment. Plays that we put on are really about getting to the heart of the experience of being Native And so I find, and our audiences find that because we focus on good storytelling, and, I'm a playwright, so I love a good old-fashioned, well-structured play, that all of our stories are relevant to all of our audiences because, at the end of the day, we're all human beings with the same emotions, except you actually get to see this experience of being human in through native eyes. And so yeah, it's a really, really gratifying and fun company to be working with.
Tell us about A Christmas at Ochapi.
So Christmas No Choppy is a comedy. It's a res Christmas in the Everglades. And the writer, Montana Cypress, is Miccosukee, and that's one of the tribes who call the Everglades home. And so he's written this very funny play. I know as a Minnesotan, I love having my mind that I'm under the Florida sun during December. So Christmas in Ochapi, we actually produced this comedy 2 years ago, and it was a Star Tribune critics pick, and we had so many people say, "Oh, it should become a tradition. Maybe it's something New Native Theater does every winter." And so we wanted to try that out. And so this is the second time we're having the play. And it's really fun. We've got different casts. We actually brought back the same director. But we have some of the actors from the first production, but they're playing different parts. And so it's a really fun play.
When you brought actors back from the first production, was it a conscious choice to, hey, let's put you in a different role? And if so, why?
In a way, it was kind of like, oh, look at this person, how they've grown. And so, we wanted to get them, because they're so talented. And we wanted to see them back on stage. It kind of just, I don't know, things just kind of like shook out that way with the different characters, or the same characters for each actor. But we also have a whole bunch of brand new actors who are in the story. So it's just really neat to see uh to be able to produce the play again, but get like variations on
Sure.
the characterizations. So yeah.
Right. Mix it up a little bit. And it's going to be fun
Yeah.
for the actors, like particularly to come back and I'm doing the same play, but I get to play a different character. So
Hmm.
it's a new perspective for me.
Yeah,
I imagine that keeps it more engaging and interesting for them as well.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
it has.
So Rihanna, is there anybody new in the show that really is a standout, maybe?
Well, we're really excited to have Mato Wayuhi to be part of the cast. He plays the part of Donny Boy, the prodigal son. Mato just released an album this week, and he's going to be promoting it all spring. He actually was the composer for Reservation Dogs, and he recently starred in the series The Lowdown. So we're just really excited that we can have such a talented native actor, a young up and coming, rising star, to be part of our cast. And it has been such a joy to watch him have so much fun with this role of Donny Boy. So I really hope that folks come out and see it, and yeah, and people can check out his brand new album. It's called Bygoner. But yeah, he's all over social media, so please check him out here in Minneapolis while you can.
Yeah. His series, The Lowdown, is it?
Hmm.
That's on Hulu, correct?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, so folks, check that out. It's a Florida Christmas. Expect miracles, mess, and maybe a chainsaw or two. A Christmas in Ochapi runs from December 3rd to the 21st at 825 Arts in St. Paul. We'll link to the company's website in the show notes so you can read more about them and their upcoming productions, as well as purchase tickets to see the fast-paced holiday comedy Thanks, Rihanna, for coming on. I'm looking forward to the show.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Bet. I had so much fun working on this episode. I hope you had half as much fun watching it as I did making it. Don't all those shows sound fantastic? Having trouble deciding which ones to see? Don't choose. See them all. I'm going to. Money tight? Sign up for the Stages of Minnesota +1 Club. Email me at robdunkelberger@thestagesofmn.com. Send me your name and mobile number, and I'll add you to the +1 Club. When I have a +1 ticket available, I'll text the +1 Club, and if you can make it, text me back directly. No group text replies. Those who reply on the group text run the risk of a lump of coal in their stocking this year. The first person to reply gets to see a free show with me. And hey, it may be one of the shows we covered on this episode. Theater companies, if you liked what we did on the show this week, you don't have to wait for our holiday and season preview episodes to get in on the fun. You can sponsor an episode all on your own. Just email me at robdunkelberger@thestagesofmn.com. Faithful viewers, if you have questions, comments, advice, or gift ideas, feel free to email those to me as well. I want to thank History Theater, Just Us Theater, Yellow Tree Theater, and New Native Theater for sponsoring this episode. A Christmas in Ochoopee runs December 3rd through the 21st at 825 Arts in St. Paul. Rollicking, a winter carnival musical, is open now and runs until December 21st at History Theater in downtown St. Paul. A Christmas Carol, more or less, runs from November 28th through December 28th at Yellow Tree Theater in Osseo, and Mistletoe and Mayhem plays the Phoenix Theater in Uptown from November 28th through December 14th. Show them you appreciate their support of the Stages of Minnesota by going to the show notes and locating the link to their shows and purchasing tickets. We'll also link to the Guthrie Theater so you can get your yearly fix of the traditional A Christmas Carol. You can read my full reviews of all the shows I see on my blog at thestagesofmn.com. Remember, if you see me out at a show or dumpster diving for Christmas gifts, don't be shy, say hi. Let's get a photo together and put you on the Stages of Minnesota. If you catch me under the mistletoe, we can even do a kiss cam version. Thanks as always to Ryan Lee for the generous use of his music. Every note of music used on the Stages of Minnesota comes from his albums, which you can find at ryanlee.bandcamp.com. Whether you're watching the YouTube edition or listening to the podcast version, please help spread the word. Subscriptions to the Stages of Minnesota YouTube channel, podcast, and blog are all free, making them the perfect gift for that person on your list that you don't want to spend a penny on. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review the show. Until next week, as Carol Jackson breathed into my ear as we stood under the mistletoe, go see a show.
'Cause it's all over but the shouting. Every soul needs light. My mind's been wasting away in the afternoon shade, out of sight. And I am not the pure and perfect one, but my branches are still bent toward the sun.